Hello and welcome to the Video Academy. In this video we're going to be looking at the MicroTimeline. This patented technology allows users to see the last 4 days of information on any IP stream. Its compact size allows many streams to be shown on one screen, and correlations of errors on multiple streams can be seen at a glance. Before we go any further, let's have a look at the details of the MicroTimeline. As you can see, it's divided into 2 parts, the long rectangle to the left and the smaller square to the right. The rectangle is 96 pixels wide, and each pixel represents 1 hour, so it's easy to see that this is a 4-day view. The square to the right indicates the current status, in other words, what's happening right now. Any green segment indicates no error. A yellow line indicates a time when warning thresholds were exceeded. These thresholds may be IAT, into arrival times, MLR, media loss rate, bandwidth minimum or maximums, or RTP errors. An orange line indicates that an error threshold has been exceeded, again for both jitter and dropped packets. A red line indicates a period when no data was received, in other words, a no signal event. This means that the multicast contained no data, no IP packets. If you see a blue segment, this indicates a scheduled mask, and during these periods no errors are displayed. These are typically used if a service goes off air for 12 hours overnight, for example. On the main VBC monitoring page, you can see in the middle stream group status. These are user-defined groups of streams and enable the MicroTimeline to be used to show streams wherever they appear in the system in one group. You can see in this system that we've given names to the stream groups that correspond with their sources, either the Thor satellite constellation or Astra. The MicroTimeline can show data from a single stream or multiple streams. It depends on how they're configured. As you can see at the top of this stream group, there's all streams. In other words, every single stream, all of the errors from all of the streams are concentrated in this one MicroTimeline. The ones below for Astra, for example, show just the streams that are in that group. If we go over to the left to the VBC menu and click on Stream View, we can see a web page full of MicroTimelines. Each of these is a single stream or service. If you look down at the bottom, this pull down allows me to select the stream groups that you saw earlier on the monitoring page. When I select one of these, it's exactly the same as if I'd clicked on the link from the monitoring page itself. Selecting all streams goes back to the default display. I can also choose to sort my streams by name, interface, or severity worst or severity best. In a large VBC system, it's very possible to have hundreds of streams. If you look to the right of the Sort pull down, there's a filter field. This is a really useful tool and enables you to quickly find any stream instantly. As I type BBC, you can see the filter results instantly. Deleting the characters resorts back to the original display. I'm going to zoom in on the display to show you why the MicroTimeline is so powerful. Take a look at these 3 red lines. You can see them in Al Jazeera International. Remember, red means no signal. No IP packets being received. If you look down to Iran TV, we have exactly the same 3 lines. It's a pretty safe bet to say that this was the same event, and it affected these two streams. Look across to stream 49, channel 21 it's called. We have a very similar pattern. Two red no signal lines, but the leftmost line is orange in this case. So it was the same event probably, but it didn't have quite the same effect on this particular stream. And if you look carefully, you can see the same event in various other streams. This is where the MicroTimeline is so powerful. It enables you to spot trends. It enables you to see single events that affect multiple streams. Take a look at this column of numbers. These figures indicate the number of probes monitoring each stream. In other words, if you see 3, then this means that 3 separate probes are all monitoring the same stream. This is really useful because it allows us to narrow down where a problem has happened. If one probe sees a fault, but another doesn't, it's a fairly safe assumption to assume the problem happened somewhere between the two probes. So let's have a look at the Al Jazeera feed in a bit more detail. Click on the link. And this brings forward a different display. At the top you can see a thumbnail, and there's some transport stream information about the video PID and the audio PID, for example. There are 2 links, previous and next. They indicate the next and previous streams in the display, and it's a quick way of navigating between streams. If you look at the main stream display, to the right you'll see a table of errors. The default display shows Ethernet error seconds. However, using the pull down it is possible to change this. You can see we can select Ethernet statistical and Ethernet in the last minute. We can even see ETR errors. However, this will only work if the stream has also been selected to have ETR analysis carried out. It's possible to have an IP stream that is tested for IAT and media loss rate, but not tested for MPEG transport stream errors. I'll go back to the standard display of error seconds. Now we can see the MicroTimelines, but there's one for each probe now. Ignore the head-end content extractor, that's not part of this demonstration. However, we have 3 probes, 1, 2 and 3. And this particular example, we can see exactly the same error display on all 3 probes. In this case, it's fairly safe to assume that the error was probably incoming. Had probe 1 shown a completely green MicroTimeline and probes 2 and 3 show the characteristic red lines, then this would indicate that the problem had happened between probe 1 and probe 2. Notice the checkboxes to the left of the MicroTimelines. These enable us to select individual probes for further display. I'm going to select 1 and 2 and then click on the link to show the media windows. You'll recognise these displays from the probes themselves, the large media window, but now we're seeing 2. The VBC has extracted the large media window from both probes and is now showing them one on top of the other. In this case, unsurprisingly, we're seeing exactly the same error conditions on both probes. Switching to 4 days confirms this. This error was almost certainly incoming. We can also select stream data for each probe. This brings up a different display showing the same errors. As you can see, these 3 peaks correspond to the no signal events in the media window displays. There's more detail in this particular display. As you can see from the legend on the right, we have error seconds no signal, error seconds media loss rate, and error seconds into arrival time. We can use the graph handles at the bottom to zoom in on a particular event. And we can mouse over the graphs themselves to get individual readings from different points. Notice how the graphs from different probes act independently. And we can also compare ETR measurements. However, one quick glance at this display shows that one probe has ETR analysis for this stream enabled, but the other one doesn't. Nevertheless, there's still a lot of useful information on the display for the probe which does have ETR enabled. These little pie charts at the top show the ratio of errors to non-errors. You can read off the actual figures next to each display. As elsewhere on the probe, we can expand the service to see the components, and we can also expand the alarm graph to show exactly where the problem occurred. These were no signal events, so they're going to go through the entire graph. Notice they only show one day, not the 4 of the previous display. And the ETR details are the current details. But we were looking at 3 probes. What happens if we click the third checkbox? Well, we get 3 mini media windows, and you'll recognise this also from the media window display on a probe. It's the same information, it's just more compact. The maximum number of large media windows on a screen is 2. If you want to display more, then the small media windows are shown. However, you can see that the information is the same, but you can still mouse over the way you can in any other media window. And it's plain to see that this event has caused errors in all 3 probes and is probably incoming. So let's have a look at the stream group status again. Remember, these are user defined. We can give these groups any names we like, and we can put any number of streams into them. Let's see how to configure that now. Select Stream Groups from the VBC menu, and you can see a list of the stream groups we saw on the previous display. We can edit existing ones, and we can delete them. Editing this Astra group shows the 4 services from RTL down to NTV. Adding a new stream group is as simple as typing its name and a description if wanted. Simply click the streams you want in the stream group. No need to shift or control click, and push them to the right hand side and save changes. And on the main monitoring screen, you can see that we now have a new stream group called BBC Streams. Clicking on the link brings exactly the display that you would expect, the 5 services that we included in this group. It's also part of the pull down at the bottom left. You can have as many stream groups as you want. They can have as many or as few streams within them. This group has just 3. The head-end group has nearly a page. They're completely user-definable, and they allow you to arrange the streams in a way that's useful for your operation. I'm going to delete that stream group now. Simply delete from the stream group menu. The MicroTimeline is a VBC function, and it displays IP data from all system probes. Its compact display shows the last 4 days of IP data. It offers an at-a-glance view of more than 100 streams per page. You can drill down fast to data from individual probes, and the Stream View display offers a comprehensive overview of network performance. We hope you found this video interesting and useful. Be sure to check out the others in the series. If you've got any ideas for videos you'd like to see, email us with your suggestion. Bridge Technologies offers a full 2-day technical training course covering all aspects of probe and VBC operation, as well as a theoretical background. Training can take place in our purpose-built training centre at our Oslo HQ, or it can be delivered at your own premises. If you want to contact us, visit our website or email us at training@bridgetech.tv.